Boom, boom, boom. Hey everyone. Hey everyone. So weird to do that.
L.Shima here, obviously.
L.Shima here, and welcome
everyone
to Be Cool.
Be Cool.
Be cool. If you do not know who I am, then you need to Google me right now. It is another fabulous episode. Today's a very special day. It is a fabulous, fabulous Wednesday. Wednesday's always kind of a good day. Yay! Awesome! Man, my voice just squeaked like crazy.
Awesome. Fuck yeah.
Pencils down. Let the show begin. Hey everyone. So this is my Thanksgiving special. Yay! This is exciting. Honestly though, I have a feeling that something bad's gonna happen because it feels like every time there's something that goes wrong. So I feel like I should just accept it and just realize and just think that it's already gonna happen so I'm not freaking out and there's no way for me to there's literally no way for me to prepare for it because it's a random situation that it's either seriously, I don't know why I have so many issues with this freaking podcast. But honestly, I feel like something's gonna go wrong, and if it does, I'm already apologizing from the get-go. Because I'm going to share some things with y'all that require me to do a duplicate screen, like I do when I have my special guests and things like that. But for whatever reason, recently it's been flashing. The computer's been basically blinking at me, and last week that happened it happened. That's been happening for 2 weeks now, and last week it actually got really bad to the point where it just the computer basically just went white on me. I could not see you. My video turned off. I had to get on my phone real fast and get on Ustream by that way. And it was just a whole just fuck ton of issues, like always. But I'm L.Shima. I get through these situations. I make it through. I beat down the door and all this crazy stuff. But anyways, hey everyone, and welcome to episode 19. Yes, 19. Oh my god. We're about to be almost the age of me as far as episodes go. That's actually kind of awesome towards in my life because I'm oh, that's cool. I'm almost to 20 episodes. Oh, I'm not 20 anymore, but I'm almost to 20 episodes, and that's getting closer to my actual age in life. So that will only happen once in this entire podcast, so that's a celebration worth having, I say. But this is, like I said, my Thanksgiving special. You may actually see me kind of turning my face and my eyes to this direction because that's where I can actually see myself with the video recording of me and the program that I use to host this. But my actual webcam obviously is right in front of me on this computer. So you may see me glance this way a few times, and it's not because you are boring me or anything, or I'm boring myself actually, because it is honestly I'm talking to myself because I'm by myself and here, but on the computer I'm not by myself, hopefully. If I am, that's okay. I'm not gonna cry. But so you may see me glance over. It's not because I'm being preoccupied with. Well, I guess I am, but seriously, it's for the reason of the episode and all that other stuff. So yes, it is not quite Thanksgiving yet. It might be in actual other countries because it's the next day. But I don't. Do other countries even celebrate Thanksgiving? Because I really honestly don't even know the answer to that. I feel like they may, but I feel like I understand Thanksgiving and is an American holiday for the fact that the Pilgrims came and settled down and basically chased out the Native Americans. Not really chased, they more killed and stuff like that. I don't even know, wasn't there when it happened, just basing it on books that I had to read when I was in school. But yeah, so I'm curious if you are from a different country or you know anyone that is from a different country, let me know if they celebrate American holidays such as, well, I guess Thanksgiving. And I doubt they would celebrate 4th of July. That doesn't seem kind of right. I don't know, but maybe some countries might. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious if you're from another country, what holidays do you celebrate? Do you is is your country just only this one country that celebrates this holiday and everyone else doesn't even know what the hell it is? So please freaking share. I love when people share their life stories and things like that. There's a chat to your right, and you can type whatever your heart desires. But that's not even the issue right now. The issue is, it's not even an issue. I don't know why I even said issue, but it is Thanksgiving tomorrow. At least it's not midnight yet. And honestly, I plan, well, okay, so short story. Well, hold on. First of all, it is episode 19. It is Wednesday. It is November 26th, right? Yeah, 26th. So, yay, I had to do like, that before I forgot everything. But, so Thanksgiving tomorrow, I live in Florida, and I actually was the first out of my, siblings as well as my, immediate family to move out of state. So last year I was on my way for Thanksgiving to Texas, but got in a car accident, and it was just a big ordeal that didn't even need to happen, but it happened. So we ended up having to come back to Florida to celebrate Thanksgiving here. Find out Francis doesn't even really like Thanksgiving food, like the turkeys and mashed potatoes and bread and yams and cranberry jam or jelly and stuff like that. So I decided, well, you gotta be festive on Thanksgiving. Like, I feel like holidays, you gotta somehow, like, bring the festivities to yourself. So I'm like, well, you don't like Thanksgiving meals, which is good on me. I don't have to like make a huge ass turkey, but I would like to still stick with that Thanksgiving kind of theme. So like I made like turkey, I got turkey breasts and wrapped them in prosciutto and sage. It was freaking delicious actually. I tried to make some like cauliflower crumble type of thing. That didn't turn out really awesome, but I mean it was edible nonetheless, but it just didn't taste that like fantastic in my personal opinion. And so yeah, we had it here, but now my brother and my two nephews and my sister-in-law moved to Tampa last spring. And so now I actually finally have family members in the Florida area that don't live too far from me. So they're actually planning to come to Sarasota for Thanksgiving, but my sister-in-law Sonia has her side of the family, one of her side of the family lives in Sarasota. So when they come to Sarasota, they go over there because they all of them have kids. I don't have kids, and I'll babysit my nephews here and there, not really, but they have kids that will play with my nephews. So they'll go there, but when they do, they'll like tell me and all this other stuff. So they plan to have Thanksgiving in Sarasota. I'm like, cool. If I'm as long as I'm invited, I am more than willing to come. I like spending time with family. I think it's awesome. I think it should be done every time, type situation. But the only difference about this Thanksgiving that is making me worried-ish, I don't do well in crowds. I'm more just like a one-on-one type of person, especially if it's crowds that involve that I just am thrown into a big crowd. If I'm the first one there to a party and people start coming in and getting together and stuff like that, I do so much well because I had a chance to interact with everyone at least for a millisecond. But when I'm thrown into a huge group, like so I came late to a party and everyone already has their group and mingling with others, I feel like an outcast, and it's really hard for me to even try to be social. It's just ridiculous. But this Thanksgiving for tomorrow, family trees are really hard for me because it's really like a complicated situation. But it's my sister-in-law's side of the family. My sister-in-law Sonia's aunt, who's married to her husband, who his family is coming to Thanksgiving, and I think friends as well from their side is coming to this Thanksgiving. These are people I don't know and I've never met in my life, and it sounds like it's gonna be a lot of people, and it's the first holiday that I will ever so far have that involves more than 6 people in one room. Like all my holidays are just me and my intermediate family. I have a mother, a sister, a brother, an aunt, and then me. And then you got, well, now that my brother reproduced, I have my 2 nephews and my sister-in-law. So now it's 8 technically, but that's still in my head not that much in comparison to what is possibly going to happen tomorrow. So I'm kind of nervous about it, but hopefully, I know it's going to be good. It's Thanksgiving. I mean, food, hello. Like, that's not the point of Thanksgiving. We all know it's about giving thanks to your friends, family, the community, things like that. But it's about food. It is. We Americans love to eat and we can't get enough of food, especially when we don't have to cook it. So, not to sound like a mean ass or anything like that, but I am prepared to actually cook something for tomorrow to chip in because the her name is Pat. She's planning on making a whole bunch of food for all of these people. So obviously it is a nice gesture. It's like, you go to a party, you want to bring, alcohol because it's a nice gesture, especially if you plan on drinking, you're bringing as much as you'd probably drink yourself kind of situation. But my brother told me, oh, well, he wants me to bake something. My sister-in-law, Sonia, is already going to bake something, but he wants me to also bake something. At the same time, Sonia is like, no, you should not bake. There's going to be tons of food. You should bring alcohol. Bring wine, bring beer, anything you want to do, but bring alcohol. So they both were like telling me opposite things that I should do. And I'm like, I really don't know. I don't even honestly know if I'll have the funds before then, but I will let you know if I can even just come up with the shortest, cheapest amount of something to at least bring. So luckily I was able to get funds today, but I decided, all right, well, I feel like it seems nicer, in my personal opinion, obviously. This entire podcast is my personal opinion of life. But I feel like it shows more of a nice, kind gesture that I actually took the time to bake something rather than to just go to this grocery store real fast, grab the cheapest or the decent priced amount of wine that I can find and bring it to, the place with no wine bottles or anything like that. So I was like, all right, well, I will bake something. I'll make this thing called an ancho chili fudge pie. If you live in Austin and you've heard of Z Tejas, or even if you haven't heard of Z Tejas, go there. There's a dessert called ancho chili fudge pie, and it's freaking delicious. So I've made it before in the past for a prior, like, in the past Thanksgiving, and it's actually really delicious. But I'm like, yeah, I'll make that. I'll get the ingredients. The ingredients aren't too crazy. Like, I can use like a store-bought pie crust and all this other stuff. So earlier today, I told my family about it, and Sonia replies, oh, that sounds great, or something along those lines. She's like, I'm going to be making apple cobbler as well as pumpkin pie, and Brian, my brother, bought 2 additional pies. Instantly, in my head, I'm like, that's a shit ton of fucking pies. Like, I know there's going to be a chance there's going to be a lot of people that show up, but holy shit, like, that's already 4 pies, and I'm pretty sure other people may be bringing other desserts because pies and desserts are the easiest. You go to the grocery store, you can grab one already made and, serve it like that. So I'm like, is it even worth like making a pie if you're already making like 5 other pies? So I told Francis this, and he's like, oh, well, make macaroni and cheese. The kids will love you. I love macaroni and cheese, and yeah, you can't go wrong with it pretty much. And I'm like, yeah, but in my head, I'm like, I don't feel like macaroni and cheese is fancy enough. I'm not trying to be like Gordon Ramsay or anything like some crazy chef because I can't cook. I can cook to save my life, but I really just don't like to cook. I rather honestly actually bake. But he's telling me to make macaroni and cheese and that the kids will love me. And I'm like, well, what happens if somebody else is bringing macaroni and cheese and there's like a double amount of it? Or what happens if Pat is making more of a Mexican version of Thanksgiving, like, the enchiladas and the tamales and like that whole shebang of things because they are Hispanic. Um, I'm like, if they're making Mexican food and I arrive with macaroni and cheese, like, that doesn't kind of go with the flow. And he's like, who cares? I'll eat the entire macaroni and cheese if that's the case. And I'm like, yeah. So in my head, I'm debating if I want to make macaroni and cheese because I can't think of something else I'm willing to make. Honestly, like, I just don't like cooking. And macaroni and cheese seems like the more simplest thing I could possibly make other than like mashed potatoes. But I feel like they got that on lockdown. Like, you have to have mashed potatoes. You just got to. Um, but I'm just debating because it's either I make ancho chili fudge pie. Oh, it sounds just me talking about it for the past couple of days. It just I want it now in my mouth. Me make macaroni and cheese, and I'll make it fancy. I'm not gonna buy like Kraft macaroni and cheese. Like, I'm gonna actually make like homemade macaroni and cheese. Or me just buy not a shit ton, but a decent amount of alcohol. You can't go wrong with alcohol, though. I mean, fudge. You seriously can't go wrong with alcohol. Alcohol's the best in cases like this, especially for me because it allows me to be social. Because it does that to me. But yeah, I don't know why. It's just please share your Thanksgiving plans if you're going to be by yourself, if you have family. How big is your family? Is it going to be just you and like a significant other? Is it going to be you and your parents? Is it going to be like an entire like clan of people that's kind of like considered a family reunion type of style? Are you going to make the traditional Thanksgiving meal? Like, seriously, I'm not kidding. Give me some like stuff that y'all are gonna do. I'm seriously, y'all don't think it. Maybe you do, but honestly, I'm really fascinated with y'all and y'all's life. I feel like you get enough of my life, especially with these podcasts. I'm sure you get enough of me. You probably already know me pretty well by this point. I would love to see what your description of me based on my podcast would be, but nonetheless, please share your life stories with me. Honestly, I'm not kidding. So yeah, this episode, I called it Thanksgiving special. There's nothing other than if you want to talk about Thanksgiving, that's pretty much all I had planned as far as Thanksgiving special. Um, so if you want to talk about Thanksgiving, I am more than willing. I will talk about food and stuffing my face and having to unbutton my pants and just sit back and relax. I will talk about football if you want, because that's an American tradition. Football plays during Thanksgiving. I honestly don't really watch sports that much, but I can at least, chat with you about it with no issues. I might be asking you more questions than you asking me questions, but nonetheless, I can handle it. If it's snowing, like seriously, I will talk anything related to Thanksgiving. Or if you just want to talk about any holiday, fudge, I don't care. I don't know why. Honestly, earlier today, Francis told me, I kind of knew this, but he informed me even more that I do cuss a lot. And I knew this, but apparently, according to him, this is kind of more of a recent situation. Like, it just started happening this year. I cuss like every 5 seconds. And I don't know why. I grew up with my older sister and my older brother cussing. Not like, sailors, but they would cuss with, here and there type situation, as well as my mom. She would sneeze and say shit. Like, I'm like, out of all the words you could do, you go, achoo, shit. So I kind of grew up in a family that did cuss. But when I got to like around 16, I thought, all right, I'm at that age where I can cuss, not a lot, but cuss here and there to my, family. And I remember one day I was actually at the mall with my mom, and I said, I don't even remember what cuss word I said. I really do believe I said like shit. And she's just like, don't say that word. And I'm like, oh, all right, I'm not gonna cuss. So ever since then, I just don't cuss to my family like at all. So I don't know if it was just all that pent up like cussing that has just been growing inside me since I was younger to now just flourishing through my vocabulary and just making a name for itself. I have no idea. But I do cuss, and so Francis told me earlier about it. So now I've been saying freak and fudge and some alternatives to cussing. I will still probably say fucking, but if you catch me say some random word other than fucking, like fudging, that's probably why, because I am trying to, I guess, I don't know, I do that when I realize I'm saying something too much, I will try to alter it a little bit. But that was a random story. So yeah, I don't even know where I was going after that. So yeah, today honestly was an interesting day. Super interesting. Where should I begin on today? No, me and Francis are sleeping in the bed with Akira because it's actually, yeah, it's pretty much Akira's bed, honestly. And our roommate is, and he's also sleeping. But how our house is designed, pretty much think. Okay, I'm trying to like figure it out. Okay, okay, I can't really describe it. But pretty much behind me, right here, through this door where you see this mirror back here, is the living room. And to my right, this side of the room, the front door is right there, like on the opposite side of the wall though. And then across the door is our roommate's room, and so his room faces the front of the house. If you go towards the back of the house, there's the kitchen. The kitchen's literally like right here. This wall right like where I'm staring at. I mean, it's not. It's a fudging wall, but this wall right here is the kitchen wall. And so that's the kitchen. And then if you go through the kitchen, there'll be upstairs to get to the upstairs attic slash loft slash I don't fudging know. There you go. And then if you pass the stairs, there's the bedroom to me and Francis. So our bedroom is actually in the back. And so we're sleeping, minding our business at 5 in the morning. And we ended up waking up, as well as Akira, barking to this loud cracking sound. To the point where basically, honestly, we thought, because we don't live in the best neighborhood in Sarasota, like it's not that bad. It could be worse, but it has its shady characters come through and stuff like that. And so we instantly, when we hear loud sounds coming outside, we automatically think it's either A, fireworks, or B, gunshots. I'm from a middle class suburb. I've never honestly have even heard of a gunshot other than what is in movies and shit. Francis coming from Detroit, Michigan, like the Detroit, he knows what gunshots sound like. So when we both hear a sound, he'll like literally not he won't push me, but he'll get me out of the bed and duck and cover kind of situation. And I'm like, don't know what is going on when he first did that to me. But it was a sound more crackling, like somebody got black cats and lit them. We were all fascinated because it was that type of sound, so we, instantly thought of gunshots, but in our heads we're like, but what effing gun would make that kind of sound? It's just a weird sound. Even if me never ever hearing a gun, well, not now living here, I've heard guns a couple times, but honestly though, like a gun that's making kind of like a black cat sound, like where it's constant like banging, is weird. So my instant thought was, oh, somebody's lighting fireworks. But I'm like, what time is it? It's like in the middle of the night, like 5:30. It was, I think, yeah, 5 a.m. exactly, actually. And I'm like, who the fuck would be literally lighting firecrackers right now? That's ridiculous. So I didn't see anything because, in me and Francis's bedroom, we have this big, huge window facing the backyard, and then Andy has a window facing the front yard. Francis said when that sound went off, he saw a flash of light through the window. Andy said he saw a flash of light as well, but it was blue. So we come gather in the living room. We're all like scrambled. We don't know what just happened situation. And then we realize, unfortunately, actually, it wasn't gunshots. Luckily for that. And it wasn't fireworks. It was the transformer blowing off. I don't even know what the term is called. Honestly, too, as well, when Francis is talking about it, because we found out, the electricity's not working. But when Francis started talking about it, he's just like, oh yeah, the transformer blew. And I thought he was kidding. The same kind of like the polar vortex. I'm just really slow in the brain. But he was like, yeah, the transformer just blew up. And I'm like, oh, ha, that's funny. And then he said it again, and I'm like, wait, why are you sticking with that stupid joke about the transformer? Like, obviously there's no transformers outside our house blowing up. Like, I realized that that is a terminology that electricity, whatever it is called. So I learned that. But yeah, apparently that blew up, and so we called the electricity, and like 10 more people called before us complaining about their electricity, going off in the area. So luckily for us, they were going to take care of it at 8 in the morning. So like we had 3 hours in hopes that our refrigerator food was not going to go bad. But unfortunately for me and Francis, especially me, I had a scheduled shoot in Miami today. If y'all don't know, Miami is about 3.5 hours from me, and I had to be at my shoot at 11 in the morning. So, if you want to quickly do the math, if not, I will tell you. I had to at least, like, I literally had to be in the car leaving on my way to Miami by 7. Like I said in episode 17, professionalism, I like being on time. I actually like being super early, but it's okay. So that's why I actually left at 7 instead of 8, plus thinking of traffic and stuff. But yeah, so we had to leave at 7, which required us to wake up around 6:30 just to get like ready and stuff. Luckily, I was able to get all my stuff taken care of the night before, so I didn't really need electricity. But yeah, so 5 that happened. We tried to go back to sleep by 5:20. Then we had to wake up by 5:30, eat breakfast, which was just cereal because that's all you can eat when there's no electricity. And we tried to get ready, like put clothes on and brush our teeth and wash our face and stuff like that in complete darkness in the super early morning. And so yeah, we left, headed out, super tired because we got woken up randomly by a shock of whatever was going on. And on top of it, yeah, we got there. I was actually late because Francis was driving and he, bless his heart, he's about safety. I'm about safety too. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I am seriously about safety. I'm super safe when I'm driving. I'm paying attention to everything that's going on and expecting the person in front of me and to the right of me and to the left of me and to the behind of me to not be paying attention. So I'm literally overthinking a lot of times. But he typically does drive slower than I do, which is I'm literally a backseat driver. I don't mean to be, but I'm really like picky on like you should be using your turn signals at certain points when you're going to either switch lanes or turn into, turn left or right to a new opposite lane. And so anyway, that doesn't matter. So he was driving though a little bit slower, so we ended up but we had like stops and we had to get gas, we had to use the bathroom and all this other stuff. So ended up being actually 10 minutes late to my shoot, which I told you again in episode 17. I hate that. I seriously, like, as soon as I knew I was going to be late, I'm like, God, I hate this so bad. And so, granted, the photographer, was super sweet about it. He was very chill. He's from Italy. He did not give a damn, really, if I was late or any, I mean, I'm sure he would give a damn if I was late, but he was like, yeah, just take your time, traffic, all this other stuff. But I kept, up to date. I told him ahead of time that I was going to be late, and I, kept him up to date on anything that changed, kind of thing. But yeah, I had the shoot, and the shoot was one of the quickest shoots I've ever done. It was only an hour, and I felt like I literally only shot for 20 minutes. I'm not kidding. It was super short, but I don't want to tell you the story because honestly, I had the most embarrassing moment happen in my entire modeling life. Like, super embarrassing. I feel like it would be TMI as well as it would make me feel worse if I just told y'all about it because it's super embarrassing. If this guy wants to share the story, he's more than welcome to. But if I had to share the story, I just like more like I wish it didn't happen. It was something I feel is super bad. I didn't mean to do it, obviously. If you knew the story, I didn't mean to do it. But it happened. It's life. It happened, and hopefully it got taken care of. And I apologize like 5 million times. It was super bad. I know, Derek. I should tell you, but I feel like I'm gonna regret it if I share it. Like, I seriously feel like it's. I don't know. I'm debating. I'm seriously debating if I want to talk about it. I don't. Okay, fuck it. Fine, whatever. Judge me if you must. Seriously, judge me. I feel so bad. I still feel bad. Ew, God. So it is funny in a weird-ish way, but there was a story after that story that just made it so much better. Okay. God. I regret. I'm gonna regret this, but it's okay. Whatever. Regretting's fine. So this backstory, this guy is actually from Italy, and his main profession is doing upholstery, like creating like nice luxurious couches and chairs and things like that, like mirrors, rugs, like household stuff, but like nice. Like nice, like more than I can afford in my entire life right now. Nice. So he does that. And so I don't really know because he's not from Miami. He visits here and there kind of situation. So the place where we shot, I'm not sure if that was kind of like where he was just staying, but recognized the furniture. Like it definitely looked like it's from, what he does and stuff like that. So I get there instantly, and Francis came with me. He dropped me off, but he left to do his own thing. But I had to use the bathroom. Well, he goes and tells me that the bathroom that that is in the loft itself, he uses it as like a utility closet kind of situation. So it's not usable, but there is a public restroom. In the near the elevators that I can use. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I go and he has a key card to get in. So I go to the woman's door and I scan the thing and it's not opening like at all. So I'm like, okay, I seriously am not dumb. It's a key card. Here's the wall. You're supposed to slide it. It beeps. It opens. Blam. But it wasn't doing it. I'm like, okay, this is not working. So I walk back to him. Granted, I'm like late, so this is just adding to the lateness. So I go back to him and I'm like, hey, so this key card's not working. I'm not sure if I'm an idiot or what, but it's not working. So he takes it and he tries himself, and yeah, it just wasn't working at all. Then I'm like, and he's like, well, maybe, and he was joking, but he's like, well, maybe it doesn't work for the women's bathroom. Maybe it's just for the guys. So I'm like, we can try the men's bathroom. I am not scared to go inside the men's bathroom whatsoever. Not at all. I am honestly, if there is guys in there, because I feel like I just intruded in their privacy. But honestly, like, I have no issues. That's fudging bathroom. I hate public bathrooms though, but it's a bathroom nonetheless. It has a toilet. I can use it. Whatever. So, as we were talking about that, there is another person in that same floor that overheard us and told us, yeah, actually that key card doesn't work for a woman's bathroom unless you have a woman's key card. And so the guy, the photographer, is obviously a guy, so he doesn't have a woman's key card. So he's like, oh, I thought that was I was actually kidding about it, but oh, that's fascinating. So the key card did work to the men's bathroom. So I'm like, yeah, seriously, I have no issues going to the men's. So I took the key card, swiped the door, nobody was in the bathroom. I went and used it. And just in my head was hoping nobody was going to come in as I was either washing my hands or as I was leaving the door, just because again I didn't want that awkwardness and invading privacy type situation go down. So luckily that didn't happen. All right, this is time for the most embarrassing part of my life. God damn it. So I walk back into the room and we're like talking like normal, naturally, like I don't like if somebody was randomly right in front of you, you would have conversations. And this shoot was actually an hour nude, so it's not an issue whatsoever with me. And so he had only 3 spots in the entire spot that he wanted to shoot shoot me at. And I'm gonna regret this. The first spot happens to be this probably expensive, like white chair, And then the next location was like literally diagonally across from it. It was a more black leather chair. And then the last spot was like, a bed that was nicely made and it was all white, just pure white. So I get in the first location, the first chair, and I start posing. And granted, it's that time where a girl just has that monthly cycle that we just can't control unless we're either pregnant or we're like 50 and above and we just stop having it. So yeah, that happened to the point where pretty much basically I got it on the chair. Not like a super lot, but it was on it, and it's white chair, and it's red. So that wasn't awesome. So I noticed it, I do believe before he did. I didn't know how to handle that situation because it's never happened to me before. And lo and be like, and granite too. On top of it, it's on like an expensive fucking chair in front of this guy that is a photographer that I just met, and I am completely nude and just freaking bleeding on this damn thing. So I didn't know how to handle this situation, and I love it if somebody just came into this chat room, this episode, and is like, "What, bleeding? What fucking podcast is this shit?" But no, seriously. So I didn't know. I'm completely naked. Look down. I'm like, "Fuck it. Yep." Sure did. So I like in my head I'm like, should I just pretend like it didn't happen and pretend like it didn't happen and just hopefully he doesn't see it, or should I tell him? Like I'm having this like mental breakdown in my head because I'm so embarrassed. Like no joke, super embarrassed. And honestly, I was like, I have to just tell him like there's nothing I can do. This is obviously something you can't hide. So I was just like, oh shit. And he's just, or I said something like, oh no, I'm so sorry. And he's like confused, like, what? Are you okay? And I'm like, and I told him, and this guy, he was so sincere, but I'm sure, I don't know, I'm not a guy, and I'm sure y'all, I don't know. I really honestly don't know what y'all think about girls and our monthly cycles and periods and craziness, but he tried to be as sincere as he could. I honestly, if a girl period on my fucking expensive ass chair, I'd be fucking pissed. Like, blood is not the easiest thing you get off of furniture and fabric and stuff like that. So I instantly like asked him, and he's Italian, granted too. So there's a little language barrier, but not crazy. Like he understood like a good amount, and I understood him as well. But I asked him if he had hydrogen peroxide, and he didn't. I guess didn't really know what that was. He's like, "No, I don't have that." And I was like, "Well, soap and water, like as long as we can act fast, we can probably get this taken care of with no issues." So he gets hand soap and like a napkin and water. So I'm like butt ass naked, like scrubbing this, not really scrubbing, like I'm trying to dab too, but like scrubbing at the same time to like sweep it up as much as possible. This fucking incident on the chair. So fast forward like 5 minutes worth of scrubbing and apologizing. This entire time I'm apologizing to him, saying, holy shit, I'm so fucking sorry. Like, this is super embarrassing. I'm really sorry. Like, I said it probably the entire shoot. And so, as much as I could get it off, I, told him, let me just go to the bathroom and handle my situation. So, again, the key card only works for the men's restroom, and I had no issues with it. I swiped the card, and as I'm opening the door, I look into, that little, crack in the door as you're opening it. I see in the mirror that there's a guy standing at the urinal. Luckily, his back is facing me, so I'm like, oh shit. So I closed it, fucking, fucking so suspicious, basically. But I closed it, and I'm like, alright, well, again, I'm already late to this thing, and I bled on this guy's fucking chair, fucking expensive chair, And now I have to go in the bathroom, in the men's bathroom, and change my shit. But now there's a guy in the urinal. So now I gotta wait because I don't want to invade privacy kind of situation. So I went around and like there's a water fountain, so I got a drink of water, kind of pretend that situation, and I saw the guy go into this room. So I'm like, awesome, cool beans. I hope nobody else is in there, or I hope nobody else comes like as I'm trying to walk in there. I open the door, nobody's in the urinal, but there's two stalls, and I see one of the stalls, the farthest one, is closed. So in my head, I'm like, I bet you. So I'm like, well, whatever. There's at least a stall open, and I need to get this taken care of. So I walk into the stall, and as I'm walking, there's a gap in between both the stalls, and I clearly see a guy sitting on the toilet. And I'm like, awesome. Well, he can't see me, but he can definitely see my feet. So in my head, I like overthink a lot of shit. But I'm like, well, let me just act like a man from the like knees down. I don't really know what I was thinking, but I don't really know. But I'm like, well, I just need to change. So let me maybe um try to be as discreet about it, because what guy would bring paper products like plastic paper, like tampons are wrapped in that shit? What guy would bring that into a stall? So I'm like, all right, let me take care of this. Flush, open it as it's flushing, so there's a loud sound going with me opening it. Flush, and like doing all the business that I need to do. And on top of this, I'm adding to the like funniness in my head that this is like embarrassing moment, but this is also happening. This is ridiculous. This guy is probably taking a shit as I'm literally fucking changing my tampon. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is seriously an outrageous episode of events that's going on right now. So I just wanted to get out there before he got out there as at the same time, and again on top of it, somebody else came at the same time. So I just like booked it, just left, and luckily nobody came after that. But in my head, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, yeah, that happened. I told you that, and yeah, that's a serious true story, and that's my story, and that's my life. That fucking happens to me all the time. Not really, not really. I'm kidding. That does not happen to me. I have weird random stories if it ever comes up, like if I just randomly think about it. But there are stories that I have randomly, but that was probably by far the most embarrassing one I've ever experienced. So embarrassing. Yeah, so there you go. There you go, Derek. I definitely told you about it. I don't know if it was too much information for y'all, but whatever. So that story involved me needing to drink water now. So, obviously, none of y'all want to talk about Thanksgiving. It's cool. It's whatever. I ain't gonna complain. Whatever. I have backup plans. So, if you were on actually last week, I kind of made like, I was trying not to like give it away, but honestly, if you like the behind the scenes stuff that I've done, like behind the scenes of my photos and like kind of like elaborate on my photos, I this episode is going to be something that you will enjoy. If you didn't like that shit, sorry, that's your issue. Just kidding. But no, this episode is going to kind of go over that actually, but in a more intriguing way than just photos. I'm trying to think of the best way to kind of introduce it. So what? This was like 2 months ago already? Yeah, 2 months ago. I think it was in September. I had a shoot with a boutique, a clothing store in Tampa, and they wanted me to model in a few of their clothes so I could be on their website. I actually haven't checked their website to see if I'm even on it, but that's not even the issue right now. So they wanted to set up a shoot with me, have me have a makeup artist, hairstylist. Actually, we didn't have a hairstylist, so I had to do it myself, but that was not an issue. Had the wardrobe stylist, which was the boutique, her assistant, as well as the photographer, and there was actually a videographer as well. And they rented a studio and all of that fun stuff. And so I decided, you know what? What better way to show you a behind the scenes than to record video of the behind the scenes. And I'm an awkward person. I feel awkward and I get shy really easily. So don't judge me if my video recording skills are not awesome. I tried. I just get really embarrassed to do so. I don't know why. So there's two videos I actually wanted to show you. The video the videographer recorded himself, and then after that I will show the actual recordings of L.Shima, which is probably a laughing joke. I actually have not really watched the behind the scenes that I recorded. Like, I cut it into the video itself to fit all the random shit that I showed. But literally like 20 minutes before this episode started, I was uploading it to YouTube. It's private, you can't see it, so you only have to sign up, or you only have to be on the episode to watch it. But yeah, so I honestly actually will be watching it as y'all are watching it. So hopefully you will enjoy, and if not, I don't care. Just kidding. And hopefully my computer won't freak out, because it tends to do so if that's the situation. So let me make sure all this sound is on, and hopefully if it's not, whatever. So you're not going to hear me talk as this video is playing, because there's no need for me to talk. But I will come back to me, and after the video is playing, talk if I need to, and then show the other one. And then when that's done, I'll come back to me and then talk if I need to, obviously. So, and let the show begin. Yay!
I tried if it feels right. This feels nice. I've been down and lost for days. Glad I found you on the way. When the day gets better, the night gets later. I always feel this way. Through the hills, I hear you calling, miles and miles away. We up all night from dawn to dusk, it's always popping. I fell in love, fell out of love, we both had options. I played the drums, she rolled the drugs, I rocked the club, we both throw up, we was the band you never heard before. You got that tattoo, but you'll crack it on your cat, you'll be right back, your mama ever know. We were rolling, 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 rolling stones. When I'm all alone, I wish you had a clone. I take that puff, you take that puff, you know we never get to overdose. I tried if it feels right. This feels nice. I've been down and lost for days. Glad I found you on the way. When the day gets better, the night gets later. I always feel this way.
Sorry, I played again, so I had to make sure it turned off. So yeah, that was actually more of a professional cut of a video of behind the scenes of a shoot with L.Shima. So it was all more glamorized, like he put editing, like he actually took time to make a video for the behind the scenes. So this next video, I wish I was not going, I don't know why I put myself second now. But obviously now when you see my video, it's just a model that just pieced some fucking videos together and hopes that it at least showcases something. So that's exactly what my video is. So yeah, don't judge me too much, but I tried my hardest. I mean, not a videographer. I don't even know how to even do that shit. I give those people props, because that is way beyond anything that I can even come up with. So let me pull that up real fast. Blah, blah, blah. At the same time, I hope it wasn't freezing on y'all. My computer, again, when I have this dual screen situation go on, it like blinks at me and it like freezes on my screen. So hopefully it's not doing that situation to y'all, because that would be shitty. So let me, ready? Okay, and this is like a decently long one, so hopefully it doesn't bore you too much. Shouldn't, but. Hey everyone, this is my video of basically the behind the scenes of a photo shoot. It is like 7 in the morning and I just woke up and I am about to get all my stuff ready and drive an hour north to Tampa. Yay! Alright. Good morning, and it is time for me to make delicious food. My breakfast. Obviously, a human being has to eat, and I am a human being as well as a model, but I eat like nobody's business. So I don't have time to actually make a full-on meal, unfortunately. So I'm going to do a PB&J. That's like my meal every day. PB&J, my meal, all the time. I'm kind of now in a rush because I need to make sure I am gone. So tasty. So tasty. Voila! Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Nothing special, obviously. I really like. I'm obviously pushing it. Alright, almost done, and I need to get my ass going to make sure I get there on time. I already googled the amount of hours it will take, and apparently it's going to take an hour, but I'm not going to take a toll, so I need to get going, so I don't have to worry about that. Get my shoes on, I got my water. I hope they have snacks there, because I don't have anything to snack on. So I traveled lightly today. Typically, it doesn't look like this. Typically, it's a lot of shit. But I have a stylist and a boutique I'm shooting for, so they already providing me the clothes. I just have to bring the shoes.
Some people like real dramatic lashes. Oh yeah, those are gonna be like perfect.
Me, I usually wear dramatic lashes. I don't have nothing on right now, really, but I usually wear dramatic.
But I'm just saying, I'm sure you make yours look right. Some people go overboard with the lashes.
Like drags.
Yes. Or they don't have the lash to go all the way around. It just stop right up. Oh Lord, I be like,
Why did you just pull up a whole lash?
I love my cuts. My cuts make no sense.
Remain unseen, rugged terrain, just a visual domain, living and killing, tomb surrounding minerals, decompose arose to the minimal spec. We're all criminals, hence without the choice to spawn into this livable mess. The dawn intersects with documenting context. Plot is complex, attempt to test existence, disappearances to a superior sense, deteriorating the appearance tense. Superior to anything you pledge or plead, it's clearly plentiful. Average makes everything dissectable, constantly, probably abominably, with anomalies calling greed on speed dial. Green a weak mile with his weak pals, counter rhythm compile traces of denial, dismissed from trial, miss equivalence to comprehend a man is distant from this planet. Humans can't cope to understand that a theory landed on abandoned masses, compassion to those gone in ashes, blasting music everlasting.
Better know when it comes to rhymes, I'm giving every moment of my time. Feeling the vibe, holding the mic. I got lyrics running through my mind. Life's a marathon leading to the end of time. My mind gas runs on infinite, so I could deliver it. My rhymes visualize a PowerPoint. And this is me in the presentation, here in the present US nation. This is the end of the procrastination. To rise above with the beat levitation. Giving energies and mind contemplation. Follow through the vortex, different mind state. In which I read the navigation for this imaginary vacation. I never follow the route, and it's the proof. Look how we do it. Dissolve in the music. Follow the movement. And I just empty my head and let go of what needs to be said. Each time I write a new layer is shed, my soul's interest is fed with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's the love of hip hop that's always bringing me back, so I just keep it like that. I write fast, these lines reveal inside. Show the soul a pen and paper, and it's got nothing to hide. No rules to abide. I like to think the grass is greener on the other side, but that's only a dream, cause this life just ain't what it seems. I often find myself drifting in my sleep into a world unseen, but that's just me. Drastic.
And that was a wrap. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Bye. I don't know why it always like plays back, but it plays back. That's so funny. I had to like stop it before it does so. But yeah, seriously, that is me. There's so much more footage, especially of me like before I left for the shoot, because I'm a silly goose and I just decided fuck it, whatever, I'm gonna record like everything. So like me preparing my breakfast of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I recorded the entire process of me making it, and I figured, I'm like, y'all don't really need to watch me make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then when I was in the bathroom getting like washing my face, honestly, actually, I first started brushing my teeth first, but when I reviewed the video of me doing so, it really looked inappropriate, like inappropriate. So I was like, yeah, let's not post that one. Let's just assume that I brush my teeth, which I do. So yeah, that's literally I feel like, okay, so honestly, to go over a few things that you may have questions on, or at least I would have questions on if I watched this video for the first time. One, yes, you could probably see Francis in the bed, and I'm sure Kira is like snuggling with him as that was happening. Two, the trash can, actually, when I was getting all my sandwich and like my bag ready in the kitchen, you might have saw the trash can on top of the counter. If you were wondering, because I would be wondering why there's a fucking trash can on the counter, that's not sanitary. It's because Akira gets in the trash and it's really annoying when she does so. So the best choice we have right now is just to throw it up there. We have the trash can that you just, you push it open and it swoops and you just drop it. We need like those heavy lid trash cans, like kind of like outside trash cans that she would have to do a lot of effort to do so. We thought about even getting a trash can that, you know, the ones that you just step on the pedal and it pops up. But I have a feeling Akira would learn how to open that. Like, she's not dumb. She would probably learn how to do that. So one day we will get a better trash can. But yeah, that's kind of where majority of the time we keep the trash, when it's getting like, you know, midway, halfway full to all the way full. I do actually honestly eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches by Derek. I do see you. Have a fabulous Thanksgiving, by the way. So I'll see you hopefully next week, and if not, I will see you no matter what. But yes, I do actually eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on a daily basis. I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's just also honestly because sometimes you're too broke to afford food sometimes, and bread, peanut butter and jelly is the cheapest you can probably get other than ramen, which is way unhealthy for you. So I tend to eat peanut butter and jelly just because one, it's easier to make, two, it's cheap, and three, I actually really do like it. Actually, speaking of which, we just tried this apple jelly, and it actually does not taste like apple, really. It just tastes like jelly. Like, it's weird. But anyways, that's a random note. What else did I review on that I would have found fascinating? Oh yeah, my clothes. So I had that black suitcase and that red duffel bag. Those are typically my like, those are always, if you ever book a shoot with me, you will see those. The black suitcase is all my shoes. All my shoes. Like, my high heel shoes. The duffel is typically always my lingerie pieces. I don't have that much lingerie, but it fits in that duffel bag. And it actually is a good amount of lingerie, but it's like random mixes. Like, they're not fancy, and they don't all go together. I don't really actually have that much lingerie, actually, honestly. But if it's like shoot like that and it doesn't involve lingerie, I will stuff the duffel bag with shoes or something else, like my, sneakers and things like that. Whatever was discussed for the shoot. And on top of it, if it is a clothing shoot that is, the clothing is not being provided for me, I have a freaking, what do you call those? Not like the hanger zip up bags where you can, you have you can have your clothes on your hangers and you have it zipped in a bag. I have that, and just depending on what the shoot involves, it can either just be a few hanged items or it can be like seriously fucking heavy. So typically I do try to carry lightly as possible, just because I plan to probably carry it everywhere I go. But that shoot was a lighter load than most, and it was because I had that stylist provide pretty much everything. Actually, I don't even think I wore anything that was mine in that shoot. Then the car ride, I turned on the phone, or I turned the recording on when I was at a stop sign or a stoplight. So I'm seriously, again, I'm safe. I pay attention to everything. I literally driving red light, so I'm completely stopped, and it's a good decent red light, and so I grabbed my camera. All I have to do is flip the phone instantly, and then I just propped it up on the window and pushed record on the video, and then just let it record for an infinite amount that I had enough space for, and left it at that. And so I was seriously being safe. I was not holding the phone while driving. The phone was like in the the window kind of situation. So I was definitely safe with that. There was more footage, obviously, of hi Alejandra. There was more footage of the makeup applying, but it didn't turn out, and I don't know. I just didn't add it to it. So I'm talking during the makeup applying. Like, there's small talk. Makeup is hard to actually have a conversation with because they're touching my face, and obviously when I'm talking, my mouth is moving, so like my bottom half of my face is moving. So especially when they're getting around this area and they need me to stop talking, that's typically what happens a lot of the time. So there is small talk that happens, but it's just it is small talk. That's literally what it is. And there's also talk that goes on at the actual shoot itself. Everyone's different, but there is talk that goes on during the shoot itself. That one is just, I told her to record it, the assistant. I told her to record it as I was posing. So, honestly, actually, if I can actually probably show you. The ones where they're recording, like me and myself, they're actually having conversations with each other behind behind the camera, the video. So while I'm posing, the people that are there are actually having conversations. So maybe one day I'll show you those videos, but it's funny because I had to mute it because it didn't match anything. It was just like these random talk that they were doing and stuff like that that just didn't go right. So yeah, that's basically all I got from that. I mean, if y'all had any questions, Alejandra, I know you probably missed it, and then Kyle, I know you came in a little like right in the middle of it kind of thing. But that was basically what you did miss was the behind the scenes of my photo shoots in a video form. But if you have any questions as far as if you saw the video and you're curious on something, or if you didn't see the video but you're curious on just behind the scenes in general that I just didn't just say about, feel free to ask. Such as today, and the day when I recorded that video, I do have to sometimes wake up super early, but then there's times when I probably don't. I don't have a shoot until like 4:30, in the afternoon. And I can basically have a complete normal schedule until then, but I honestly actually like having earlier shoots because if I have a shoot scheduled later in the day, I feel like I'm just waiting all day for that shoot to happen and then I finally go. So I'm always open to any time, but I honestly like earlier shoots, but I don't care if it's a later shoot. It actually is also awesome to have a later shoot just because I get to sleep in. So I don't have to worry about waking up at 6 in the morning and eating food and making sure that I'm on time and all that crazy stuff. So yeah, that's one of my life stories. But yeah, it's always different. I plan to try to record more videos of behind the scenes. They will typically be the behind the scenes of like more like trade shoots that are free if I do them. Because I mean, I don't want to be invading the privacy of a paid shoot unless I, obviously ask permission for. And I don't know. I don't want to be invading at all, and so I feel like a paid shoot that's just asking too much. So I just typically do it when it's just a trade one. So I do plan to do that in the future. More of hopefully one day I'll have a better camera and not my fucking iPhone. The entire time I was trying to record those videos during that, my phone was running out of storage, and I kept having to delete the entire time. So that was not fun while I was doing it, but. If y'all seriously have any questions for me, go right ahead. Go crazy. You know me. I will pretty much answer majority of questions as long as, it's reasonable. If you want to talk about Thanksgiving, I am more than willing to talk about Thanksgiving. I know a few of you came in a little later, so there were a few things that you did miss out in the beginning. It's not that big of a deal, whatever. No, but there are a couple things I did say, so if you're interested, you can go back and rewatch, obviously. Tomorrow when I post this. I will post it tomorrow, no matter even if it is Thanksgiving. There's no holiday in my book. I still work no matter what day it is. But otherwise, if you don't have any questions or anything like that, I will probably end this awesome episode within an hour's time, actually. That's really short. I feel like that's actually the shortest episode. Give myself a pat on the back. I feel like anyone I meet and I tell them about my podcast and they ask me how many minutes I spend on it, and I tell them it roughly goes almost 2 hours, they give me like a what face. Like seriously, like you spend 2 hours talking to people and talking like by yourself, and I'm like, sure do. Like it shocks me too, but honestly, especially when I have a special guest, 2 hours goes fast, like ridiculously. Um, Kyle, do some of your family sometimes come visit you guys during this time? I said earlier, you missed it. I'm not gonna count you tardy for it, but no, I said earlier that I, being the first one in my immediate family moving out of state, last year I was planning on going to Texas to see them for Thanksgiving, but with the car accident and things like that that happened to me, I had to change that plan and came down here. But this year, actually, my brother and my two nephews and sister-in-law moved to Tampa, which is an hour north from Sarasota, and which is really good actually. And they moved last spring, so now they're in Florida and they're coming to Sarasota for Thanksgiving tomorrow. But they're coming. They're not coming to my house. Sonia, my sister-in-law, has family members that live in Sarasota as well that have kids. So my nephews and their kids can play and stuff like that. And they don't, obviously the grown-ups don't want to deal with all that sometimes. So they're having Thanksgiving there, and me and Francis are invited. So I haven't had, well, my family actually, my mother and my sister and maybe my aunt, that the ones that live in Texas, they probably I do believe they are coming to Florida for Christmas. So they'll be here for Christmas. Thanksgiving, I'm just spending time with, spending it with my brother and sister-in-law, the ones that live, in Florida now. I do have news actually, and hopefully I would share it now, but I told Francis that we should wait, or he told me, whatever, one of us told each other, that we should wait until we know for sure. So, I do have news, but that's going to be probably in like 2 episodes from now, depending on when we find out. But, what was I saying? Yeah, so yeah, they do visit sometimes. My mom came down to Florida a few months ago to babysit the nephews, while my brother and sister-in-law went out of town to, I don't remember where. So they do come. So it's one of those situations. But yeah, I'm sorry, Alejandro, that you missed most of it. It happens. You didn't miss anything. It was so boring. I made everyone disappear. It was so eye bleedingly bad. It was horrible. Honestly though, for Kyle and Alejandro, I know the ones that show up to the live ones quite often, and obviously I do pay attention to who visits my episodes and things like that. I keep a tally on everything. But if y'all really want to, when I post this video tomorrow, y'all will find an embarrassing story that happened to me today, actually, at my photo shoot in Miami. It was embarrassing, super embarrassing. Derek made me share it. He didn't make me. But yeah, I shared it and it was super embarrassing, and you may get a kick out of it, you may not. You might think it's super weird, too much information type scenario. But if you want to know an embarrassing situation that happened to L.Shima today at a photo shoot, feel free to watch this video tomorrow when I post it. It's somewhere in the middle, honestly. I don't know what time I fucking said it, but I said it at some point. Kyle, I'm not sure if I have a P.O. box, but I'm preparing my stationery for sending, so if you and Francis would like one, I'll send you one. Ooh, that would be nice. I don't actually have a P.O. box number. I have been meaning to get a P.O. box number because it just seems more safe. Not that you're not safe or anything, Kyle, but it is honestly more safer. But we can discuss. Just email me as soon as you get a chance, and we can definitely discuss about it. If you have any other questions, I am more than willing. Otherwise, I can cut this short because, it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. You need to get your stomach prepared for some big meals. I see Cutie Central just showed up at the last second. So I just thought that was funny. But seriously, if you have any questions, otherwise, I will seriously post this episode tomorrow. Even though it's Thanksgiving, I still work no matter what. And on top of it, if you did show up late to this episode live, you missed out. You seriously did. I gave out some embarrassing story of my life, and I shared behind the scenes of one of my shoots. I talked about Thanksgiving briefly type of situation. I don't know. As far as next week goes, I don't know. I may have a special guest, but with this situation of my computer, I'm always having issues. It's ridiculous, but with this situation I'm having with my computer, I'm not sure if I can have a special guest for a while because I don't want the repeat of last week to happen where it just fucking shut it on me. Alejandro, I'm not eating anything tomorrow. You're not eating anything at all? You're going on fasting tomorrow? Like, seriously? Like, seriously? Like, seriously? Like, seriously? You're eating. You need to eat. That's... Fasting, I guess, could be healthy. I don't know. I'm not a science person. I don't know the body that well to say anything, but you need to eat nonetheless. So, even if it's not turkey and mashed potatoes and, green bean casserole and rolls, and I don't like yams. I don't like cranberry jam. I like corn. I like gravy. I like stuffing. If you're not eating that, then that's fine, but you need to be eating something. I like also where, like, Francis is used to his Thanksgiving meal being, like, tamales and stuff. So I like love those meals too for like the holidays. I think actually tamales is more of a Christmas thing. I feel like it, but I like any meal. Seriously, I don't even care if it's Thanksgiving or not. Feed me now, pronto. Um, I will definitely. Kyle will not let Akira bite. She does like to like. She likes to jump on me. It's ridiculous. She's a psycho beast. One day maybe I'll have her. I'll have an episode just for Akira. Akira. I just have a recording of Akira. I'll hook the video camera on her and she'll show you her view of life. I actually did that. There was a recording of her. She likes to take my phone and have it in her mouth. So I made sure I was recording it the entire time. And you can see pretty much everything Akira sees. It was so fucking funny. It made me laugh. I might have to show that one day. Where am I? I want to be a guest one day. You can definitely just email me. I'm totally down. I literally need guests. I actually will love the day when I start getting emails for guests. I don't have to send all of those out because those are seriously like not annoying, but I'm like waiting for a response, and if I don't hear a response, I'm like, fuck, like I don't know what my plan is if I don't get a special guest for this day, blah blah blah. So yeah, if you seriously want to be a special guest, I don't care. Let's do it. Just email me though. But pretty much I don't want to eat too much. Yeah, the eating too much is a big deal. It's a bad issue. We just want to stuff our face. Food. Oh, I'm so excited. Food. Alright, guys. Well, I will let y'all enjoy your last day before a holiday, and I hope y'all do eat, and if you don't eat, then I hope you eat something. And if you do eat this standard Thanksgiving meal, I hope you enjoy it and don't stuff your face too much. You can't. Your body can't handle that much food. It seriously can't. You think you can, but just diet. Don't go too crazy. We don't want you passing out. But yeah, seriously, everyone have a happy gobble 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 Thanksgiving. I did that. But like always, be cool, be awesome, be sweet, have fun. Showcase your life in whatever video, photo you want. Be yourself and just be thankful for the things you have and the family and friends that you get to share your life with, because that's just always awesome when you can do so. So, yep. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving and a fabulous evening or day or whatever time you're watching this. And I will see y'all next week. So, bye everyone, and have a great night and day. Oh, and also, P.S. Didn't have any technical issues. Booyah! Bye everyone.
Boom.